one. It's going to be a short one, but I just, there's so much I could talk about. You know, as somebody who's been observing politics since I was a child, and then this whole DocuGate thing with Mar-a-Lago, and, you know, it's like, okay, seemed really weird that they'd be raiding Mar-a-Lago, right? They being the Justice Department, the FBI. Hi, whoever that is. Thanks for joining. So, about this whole documents thing, it's, first of all, I just want to say, what is wrong with people? I mean, this isn't 1972 where you have to make like one of those purple, you know, mimeographs or something. You know, it's like there should probably be electronic versions of these documents somewhere. So why are we so concerned about the hard copy? And, you know, it's just very strange. You're talking about paper documents. And same thing, I don't know, I just was reminded of the investigation when Bill Clinton was in the White House, and there were billing documents for the Rose Law Firm where Hillary was a partner, and the billing documents were for the Maddow Guaranty Savings and Loan, run by Jim McDougal, who actually died in prison after this whole Whitewater thing. Now, when I was young, I thought that the whole Whitewater investigation, while Bill Clinton was in the White House, was extremely divisive, unproductive, and I didn't understand why the Republicans were so obsessed with it. But if you look at the outcome, it's like 14 people went to jail, except for, except for the people in the White House, the two people in the White House. And the documents were billing records showing that First Lady had, when she was a partner at the Rose Law Firm, had drafted the loan document, which was kind of a scheme. It was sort of a Ponzi scheme. It was basically, I'll loan you money and then you loan it back because these are government funds, and then we'll make it look like we've got a lot of business, and we will also enrich ourselves. Hey, what's not to like, right? So it was like basically a Ponzi scheme, Whitewater. And the development they were going to build was Castle Grande, and anyway, but the First Lady's secretary found some documents one day while cleaning that were all these billing records that had been subpoenaed by the Republicans in Congress for 2 years. Now, Hillary didn't remember anything about the deal. She testified. So, basically, it just reminds me of this stuff. Number one, hi, Tommy. I just said, like, why? There are other copies of all documents under discussion here, whether it's from previous administrations, Trump, Biden. What the hell, you know? It's not like we're in 1972 where we got to mimeograph something, you know? But second of all, I could go and figure out, not even being a lawyer, I could figure out, like, probably within the space of a month, the outcome, the real outcome and the truth about the stupid Whitewater investigation and the Russia investigation. You know, it is such a travesty to watch these, independent prosecutors, as they used to be called, and then special counsel, as they're now called, earn millions and millions of dollars, be working in secret, right? And then, like, little bit, like, calculated leaks come out, totally paralyzes the government. And starting with Bill Clinton, it basically vilified Republicans because they were the ones trying to get to the bottom of it. It really was a scheme. It was basically a scheme to use what the funds that were actually dedicated to minorities. That's what the scheme was. So, but I didn't know. When I was younger, I was just like, what is the deal? Why are they just chasing them so hard? And then, of course, Vince Foster's suicide had nothing to do with that, even though one of the notes said he was worried that somehow Hillary would be implicated in this whole investigation. So just a lot of smoke, no real facts. It's funny, Obama didn't have any investigations He didn't have any special counsel investigations or scandals, but boy, I would say I would call the weapons scheme south of the border one of the worst. By the way, Eric Holder, he was a deputy attorney general under Janet Reno when this whole Whitewater thing was happening. What I'm saying is, why do we get the feeling that nothing really happens? No wrongdoing is ever found, right? I mean, look at Benghazi. Of course, Hillary uses the idea that she's been investigated so many times as a way to show that it's a vast right-wing conspiracy, and that's pretty much what all middle-of-the-road, lemming, neoliberal Democrats parrot, whenever you want to talk about actual wrongdoing. Why am I talking about this? Well, because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all of this. If Biden did something, that we've got the information out there, it's very easy to see. We got to hack Merrick Garland. Boy, he must be a loyal lieutenant, that Merrick Garland, because he was the first, pick for SCOTUS by Obama, and then under Biden he becomes the Attorney General. Wow, this guy, woof, he's really a soldier for them, huh? It's just such a weird smoke and mirrors type thing. Like, how are they going to spin it? What documents are we talking about? We'll probably never see the documents. But I don't know what's come out today. Maybe this is a way to get Biden out of the way because he foolishly wants to run again, and his handlers are like, no, there's been too many gaffes, even for us. It's not that these political scandals are nothing burgers. It's that they're limited hangouts. You know what a limited hangout is? I've mentioned it on here before. It's basically when there's a scandal involving government corruption, whatever has already come out is kind of contained, almost like you would contain gangrene or, frostbite. And so some people it has to be the fall guy, the scapegoat, while the whole bleeding gets stopped, and the people at the top responsible for the practice, as well as the practice itself, are shielded from the public so that the practice can continue or the people involved can keep going as well. The tyranny started, a long time ago, but it's gotten worse. The cover-ups, the just wanton disregard for any kind of transparency has all just gotten worse and worse. I guess maybe Obama can claim he never had any scandals or investigations because they just never investigated it. So I guess he scored a win on that one, right? Woo! It's like when the president gets a bunch of goons to pass one of his crazy spending bills, and that's considered a win. Well, I guess that was a win for Obama that he didn't get, no one investigated him, right? Because his wingman had his back. The thing is that, and what happened, too, with this investigation of Bill Clinton is, Kenneth Starr, I realized, was a goon. He was a clown. He was responsible for the limited hangout. And this Monica Lewinsky thing, they probably already knew about it, but it really became, the Monica Lewinsky thing became the cover-up because nobody remembers Whitewater. They only remember Lewinsky, which wasn't even part of the original investigation. Yeah, Ken Starr, I saw how he was after he left Washington, and he was like president of a university. There was some rape scandal. I mean, I see how he operates. He's just a good old boy, playing his role. Robert Fisk was the one that looked into Vince Fox's suicide, and he did a terrible job, too. Apparently there were 4 investigations. No, 12. I don't know. I just read it. And they all concluded it was a suicide. So, I'll let you look into that yourselves. But the problem with this is that after that, many people in this country lost confidence in the Republicans because they had impeached Bill Clinton over what they viewed as a morality issue. Do you see? Really, really clever. Very clever limited hangout. They never got caught for this multi-million-dollar Ponzi scheme, basically. And then the Republicans, who, are generally considered the party of the Bible Belt, the religious and such, were painted with this broad brush for a lot of young people, including myself. This was right when I was just getting to vote, and I was so disgusted with the whole thing and how long it took to conclude the investigation. And basically, we had this, we had Bosnia that happened all then. We had the whole Yugoslavia thing, whatever actually happened there, which is up for debate. We had, Srebrenica, and we had Kosovo action by Bill Clinton. We had him bombing Afghanistan because supposedly Osama bin Laden was there, and we also, he's fighting these investigations. So he wasn't really focused on foreign policy, the presidential daily brief. Even if it was all just on the up and up. And so I think many of us were just left disgusted by the Republicans simply because they were the party that was investigating the Democrat president. So then, we have, Obama didn't get investigated because Holder refused to comply with the subpoena about Operation Fast and Furious. That's right, Fast and Furious. What, talk about a euphemism. And then we had Benghazi. And, I remember when that happened, it was just the weirdest thing, and an ambassador died. And then the hearings they just were painted as like this insufferable attack on Hillary Clinton. She was so confident, in fact, that nothing was going to be found, that she just sat there at the witness stand for like how many days and just like looked at them and laughed, and you remember. And the Republicans looked even worse. I'm sitting there not paying much attention to the actual workings of Washington. And I'm thinking, well, Hillary Clinton's, she's not my favorite person, but she seems like she's a moderate. She says all the right things. Why do they keep trying to get her? Why do they keep trying to get her? And lo and behold, come to find out, we actually have to look into these things ourselves. And there are things out in the public record, when there were some honest journalists that managed to come out with something. But for the most part, the general consensus, right, there's that word, about politics in Washington and special counsel investigations is that they're fruitless and they're stupid and they're basically just designed to destroy political enemies. Then we get Trump, right? And the Democrats go after him with a vengeance, and then you even have pundits and commentators saying that, this is because of the loss of trust that happened when Bill Clinton was impeached. So basically, we are piling on deception, falsehoods, and never getting to any substance. So it's like I could do a better job than Robert Fisk or Kenneth Starr or Robert Mueller. That freaking hack. Not in my purview. It reminds me of when remember the Austin Powers movies? I think it was in the first one where, Dr. Evil's always trying to kill the good guys. Austin Powers and his girlfriend, are in the evil lair, the evil underground lair. And Dr. Evil's son, Seth Green, played by Seth Green, who's one of the most hilarious parts of the movie, comes in and, it's like, Austin Powers has escaped again. And Dr. Evil's all mad. And then Seth Green's like, Dad, I can just go right now. I could just go right now, get a gun, boom, dead. Austin Powers dead, Why don't you do that? And then Dr. Evil's like, But basically, it's like a cat and mouse game. I don't think there are any good guys, exactly, but I do think that Trump was an outsider and that he is as close to a good guy as possible without getting some dirt on his collar, from just being part of that world for so long. And we know that he actually was the only one who spoke with the attorney for the Epstein victims when that lawsuit finally was going through. Trump was the only one who actually cooperated and went, and then the attorney told the Miami Herald that he actually gave him valuable information. So it's interesting to see, but when I say there are no good guys, I'm kind of talking about the general impression on the public, the optics. And so now we're seeing the tables turned on Biden, and the problem is that everybody is just going to react, like they would, thinking, oh, here we go, all over again, nothing to see here. Well, they are lemmings because they're not really looking into it. So I just want to blow this thing open. I'm sick and tired of this, and it's just a proverbial, I'll go in there, I'll take care of it, boom, done. So let's get to the truth. Boom, done. All right? Thanks for watching. As always, please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the page. And also check us out on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Twitter's fun right now. All right. Take care, and happy Thursday.